What's up, y'all?
Are we on? Are we live?
I don't know.
I don't know
circle's
either.
still spinning. It says live. Who knows?
Who knows if
There
we're
we
live or
go.
not? And even when it says live, we don't know.
3 minutes. Like, we've been live for 3 minutes already? How long did you click that?
I don't know. Wow. Weird. Have people been staring at me going like this?
What are they doing?
Like with my old lady eyes trying to be like, oh, did we, like, I don't think we said anything. Misbehaving. Jerry was closing the blinds, getting us all set up, adjusting the lighting. And so welcome.
What's going on?
This is
Talk About It Tuesday.
Talk About It Tuesday. Rachel and Jerry Niesman.
Look at you all done up.
Yeah.
Curled hair and everything.
I did curl my hair today.
Very pretty today.
Thank you. It takes a long time now that I have long hair. I used to always do short, like Marilyn curls, and it took like 10 minutes to look adorable. Now, long hair apparently takes a long time to curl, but thank you. We are talking about a very hot topic right now, aren't we?
Yes.
Why don't you give like a quick little intro, who we are, what we're doing, how people can interact.
I'm Jerry Niesman, and this is Rachel Niesman. And
the Niesman Team.
We are the Niesman Team at Keller Williams Realty.
Fort Myers, Florida.
Southwest Florida.
The islands.
We cover everywhere.
Sarasota to Marco Island, and so that's the Gulf Coast of Florida.
Yep.
And so doing this about 10 years together. Jerry's a licensed realtor. About, I don't know, we always say over 500 people. We just, now. It is. And help a lot of people, love taking care of people, helping them with their buying, selling, and investing in real estate in Southwest Florida. That's what we're good at. He's in charge of all of the business side of it. I do all the fun things. And together, yeah.
That's it.
That's the team, plus a whole bunch of other amazing people that we couldn't do without. And so, but yes, that's it. We're talking about magic tricks, right? I got to find my notes.
Because that's what it feels like it is in order to get your offer accepted these days.
My goodness. I know that we
Not
all
just
know,
here, but all over the country from what I'm hearing.
Dude, it's a crazy market. Why? First of all, while I'm finding our notes and like lifting up our thing.
Just like making the screen all crooked.
You guys are in an earthquake. Oh no, earthquake.
This is not California.
Yeah, this is a for example of this is not what you have to deal with in sunny Florida when you come and move here. And so just hurricanes, you get through them.
Yeah, but we know they're coming.
You do know they're coming. Like earthquakes, you don't know.
Nope.
Everybody should leave California and come to Florida. Yes. Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Okay.
Just the nice people.
So tell us a little bit. This is a crazy seller's market. I think I mentioned this. I think I used this example last week in Talk About It Tuesday, but I'll say it again in reference to, there's something on our screen that's driving me. Okay, perfect. There is a meme that's floating around amongst realtors right now that says something along the lines of, my husband and I found a house that we're in, that I love and I'm ready to buy, but my husband's on the fence about it. And the advice given to the person is it's easier to find a new husband right now than it is to find another house that you like. And that's a summary of the real estate market. I say in Southwest Florida, but it's really
lot of places, not everywhere, but a lot of places right now. We
have a big network of people that we deal with, both within our Keller Williams family, as well as across the country, just people that we've worked with and been fortunate enough to come across. It's a tough time to be a buyer right now. Another little piece of anecdotal information from the real estate thing. We're part of a Facebook group of realtors, and we all talk and to troubleshoot our work, right, and get better at our job. And a realtor shared in our group the first time they had seen this before, which is a realtor submitted a contract for their buyer on behalf of their buyer, basically like blank check style, where the client signed it and like, here's the address, contract to purchase, we've signed it, but with no number. and sent it to the listing agent and said, just tell us where we need to be. Like, just, we're done. We can't do this anymore. We've seen 30 houses. We've made offers on 12 of them. We've been $20,000 over list price and we can't land on a house. Can you give like a quick 30-second synopsis on like why? What is going on? Why is it so crazy? And then we're going to get on to tell you guys magic tricks to get your contract accepted, because we are still, the Niesman team are still moving. I wouldn't say seamlessly moving buyers through the process. We are dealing with multiple offer situations and things like that, but there are things that we could help that either if you're a realtor watching, you can use our information. If you're a client watching,
that was also a meme too.
Was it? Oh, was it? Okay. All right, cool. But I think it's funny.
It is funny. And it
I don't
sometimes
think you
feels
can
like,
legally send a blank contract. Can you? Can you send a blank check?
I don't know.
So anyway, the way the Talk About It Tuesday works is we're doing a lot of talking here live, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. We talk about real estate topics. And feel free, though, I am your voice. I am your eyes and ears. Jerry's excellent at what he does. If you have questions specific to this topic or about being a buyer right now in a seller's market and how you can improve your offer, things like that, let me know. Type it in the comment box, and I'm watching it the whole time, and I'll toss some questions along the way. And so we got a bunch of information to pass along. Tell us, quick synopsis, why are we in this situation?
We're in this situation because there's not enough people selling their houses.
Tell me.
Inventory is low.
This is what you always tell people, and I don't understand
correct.
it. So tell me.
So there's a lot of different factors causing inventory to be low. Okay.
Inventory meaning
the number of homes
available for sale in our local community. Okay.
So
it's based on supply, right? Typically.
Well, yeah. I mean, everything's based on supply and demand. When there's more people buying than there are selling, then prices go up.
So we started to see this at the beginning of COVID.
Yep.
People got scared about people bringing the plague into their home. People pulled their homes off the market. Yeah.
At the very beginning of COVID, there was a short, like here in Florida at least, there was a short, maybe like 2-week lull of everything was shut down and what's going to happen. And then interest rates went down and stimulus came out.
Which entices buyers.
Yep.
Puts more buyers on the market.
And people said, we're going to go buy homes.
Right. And not just that, but our regular inventory of buyers. People who need to sell their home because they're changing jobs. People who need to sell their home because they're moving out of state to take care of aging parents. People who need to, for whatever reason, move.
But then sellers, a lot of sellers pulled their homes off the market because they didn't want people coming through their homes. They weren't sure what was going to happen.
Sure.
All kinds of different fears causing people to take their homes off the market. Well, a lot of those people haven't put their homes back on the market yet.
Sure.
They've decided to stay put. They've had a hard time finding a new home to move to.
Well, I feel it's especially pertinent that in Southwest Florida, we have 2 different selling seasons, 2 sets of clientele. We sell during season, which is the winter season. That's when what they're called our snowbirds. That's when people who are retirees or want to maintain 2 homes, one in Florida during the winter months, and they live up north by family during the summer and stuff, and then they come down here for the winter. And so we missed a specific window.
Yeah, everybody left early for COVID.
Correct. So we're seeing this. It's just like if you imagine the travel industry, everybody who didn't get a chance to travel last year are trying to travel now. So it's going to make prices of plane tickets go up and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get down to the magic, like tricks that we use for our buyers. And there's a few of them, and I'm going to type them in so you can read it later if anybody's watching in the comments. There's a couple right off the bat that I think are common knowledge, but I don't want to make assumptions about that. So run me down like the first couple and I'll type them in, and then we'll get some of the more complicated ones will be to you in a couple minutes.
So the first one is act fast.
I wrote down in my notes.
She wrote lightning fast.
Lightning fast. I'm going to put a lightning emoji in. So one, act lightning fast. And when we say fast, we mean, like for instance, when Jerry, we didn't necessarily buy our home in a seller's market, but we knew what we wanted.
Yes, we did.
We were prepared to we like sat and babysat the market. So every morning we would wake up, we would look at the new listings. And if like our home hit the market at like, we saw it at 6 a.m. come up, we were standing in the home viewing it at 10 a.m. and they had accepted our offer by 3 p.m. And that's how fast you really have to act. Things are the joke now, and it's not funny to us as realtors, but the joke is, a house has been sitting on the market for 2 weeks. What's wrong with it? Because if it sits, then you start to be concerned as a shopper, as a buyer. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it, but things just move that fast. So go ahead, lightning fast, as I type.
So act fast. If you're working, you can't get out of work to go look at the house, make sure you trust your realtor and let your realtor go look at it for you. Make the offer.
So if you are in a situation, this is the first magic trick, is utilize the technology that you have available to you as a consumer. You should have a buyer's agent, a licensed real estate agent working for you, whose entire job is to make sure that you get into the home of your dreams. And this is what we do at our desk all day, every day, is we help clients do that. And so you should have a realtor that, like, you as a buyer probably aren't a realtor. You're probably going to work in an office, or you're a nurse, or you can't always be lightning fast. So magic trick number one is act lightning fast and have an agent that you know, like, and trust enough to utilize the technology available and go like instantly be in the home for you. When you want to see it, videotape it or do a Zoom call, FaceTime, whatever, Facebook Messenger. We're all on Facebook right now. Conjure up Facebook Messenger video and live stream you through it, and be willing to make an offer on the house prior to you actually physically stepping foot in it.
And willing and ready. So that's number two, is get your stuff together.
Get your stuff together
ahead of time. So in part of being lightning fast, it's not just a matter of, I'm going to write an offer quickly. I'm going to go look at the house quickly. I'm going to make a decision quickly. You have to be prepared ahead of time. Right. If you're paying cash, your realtor should have your proof of funds already.
Be ready. If you're going to submit an offer, like screenshot your bank account and send it to your realtor to attach to an offer. You have instant access to technology. Be prepared to show it.
If you're financing, make sure that you at least have a pre-approval letter. And ideally, if you've got a lender who is willing to run you through underwriting and make your financing just subject to finding a home, but it's already a fully underwritten approval, that's so much better if we can submit an offer saying, look, we have a fully underwritten approval here. This buyer is ready to go. The other things that allows you to do, we'll get to here shortly. But have everything ready. So not just be willing to act quickly, but be ready to act quickly so that everything's there. You can get your offer in right away. Sometimes a seller will make a decision on an offer right off the bat rather than waiting to see multiple offers come through. And if you can be the first one there, beat everybody else to it, then that's a benefit. It's not necessarily going to guarantee you win, but it at least helps.
I mean, you should have if you're actively working with a realtor, and you want to buy a home with them, what do you need when you write an offer? Get them copies of your driver's licenses.
Don't need it.
Oh, well, I'm a liar. I don't know what
Stop talking about stuff you don't know what you're talking about.
What can they get you? Like, how could they get stuff to you where you can do the preliminary work? Okay.
I need money. I need proof that you got money. That's it.
Proof that you can buy it.
Yep.
And that's it. You don't need a driver's license to buy a house.
No, you need an ID at closing, but you don't need a driver's license for me. I don't need to see that. I don't care if you can drive or not.
All right, never mind. I'm going to like stay over here and type all of that beautiful information. So talk to me about, let's skip over this one. No, go to change your mindset. Let's talk about that real quick.
So change your mindset. So most people, when they're thinking about buying a house, the first thing they think about is how good of a deal can I get? Well, right now in this current market, how good of a deal you can get, you need to switch that mindset to what am I willing to pay to get this home? Well, it's not if your goal is to buy the home, then you have to think about what are you willing to pay for it to get it?
And what number are you comfortable losing it at? I hear you tell this to people all the time.
Correct.
Pick the number that
if it went for $1, if it sold if somebody else wins and you see 30, 45, 60 days, maybe 2 weeks from now, who knows, but you see that it closed. Once it closes, you go online and look and you see it closed for $1 more than what you offered. You won't be mad.
Right.
Whatever that number is, that's the number you should offer, as long as, of course, you can afford it. It has to be within your budget.
Well, and
it has to make sense.
Can I just say to you, fine folks on Facebook, also too, that number is fine and dandy, but please make sure when we talk about having a realtor that you trust, don't crazy overpay for a home that's not gonna, like, I don't know what your opinion of that is, but I feel like people are losing their minds right now.
Sometimes it depends on what it is.
Does it ever benefit you to have to? Okay.
Here's the thing.
So let's take a gated community for instance. You're trying to
say, does it make sense to overpay for a home?
Yes.
But who says you're overpaying?
So
what determines overpaying?
So if you compare, 30 days ago, this same floor plan in a gated community built the same year, the same floor plan, similar conditions, similar options, sold for $50,000 less is the average. And
has
now
the market moved that far between now and then?
Well, I guess call you and find out. I don't know.
If people are willing to pay
then that's what
that
it's
amount,
worth.
then that's what it's worth now.
Okay.
What it sold for 30 days ago is really irrelevant because that's not what it's selling for now.
Interesting.
So, but you have to decide what that number is you're comfortable with.
Okay.
So I can tell you based on what has happened in the past.
Please.
And where other homes are, what they're listed for now, what pending homes are under contract for now, if we can find out, which most of the time you can't, but sometimes you can.
Sure.
If you can find out that information, then that's all helpful. But only you can decide what you're comfortable paying for a home. And who's to say you're overpaying? If it goes up another $50,000 next month, did you overpay? No, you got a great deal then, right? So I think the question, you have to decide what you're comfortable with. And if you're going to live in it for the next 10 to 15 years, what it's worth 30 days from now or what it was worth 30 days ago is really irrelevant because you're not planning on selling it anytime soon. So it's all numbers on paper anyways.
Of course, everybody, and I'm asking you the hard questions on behalf of the people watching.
Yeah.
Everybody's worried that we're going to have another market crash because so you say 15 years, that was a great analogy because in 2006, 15 years ago, a lot of people got stuck with homes and overpaid for them in the market and then got stuck with it
but they
3
didn't
years
overpay.
later.
They didn't overpay because that's what the home was worth at the time.
Okay.
Now, the time moved on. and prices changed and it happened to go down. And it went down drastically and very quickly. However, the people that held on to those homes, their money's back.
Are in today's market.
Their money, they're back to where they were or higher.
Okay.
A lot of people are higher. There's some that aren't there yet.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying only you can decide what you are comfortable with and what it's worth, what it was worth 30 days ago, what it's worth 30 days from now is really irrelevant to what it's worth today because the market is moving very quickly.
And
so we can use that as a reference point.
If it's a house that you absolutely love, if it's all of your needs and a budget that you can afford, then
But for all intents and purposes, we overpaid for our house.
Sure.
And I'm in the business.
Right.
We paid more than it appraised for.
Yeah. We just love the house.
And
still love the house.
So the people that think that an appraiser determines what a home is worth, they don't, for the record. They determine what a bank will loan on, the value that the bank will loan on, but they don't determine what the home's worth. They determine, the only person that can determine what the home's worth is you.
Right.
As the buyer. And the seller. It's the number that, whatever it's worth is what people are willing to pay for it and what somebody is willing to accept for it.
So another obvious one, talk about cash is king real fast, break it down. Obviously,
so
not just cash, paying for the house with cash. Not everybody has cash to buy a $250,000 house. But how else can stretching a little bit your cash influence a contract to be accepted? How can that work some magic?
Of course, if you pay cash, people are always going to consider a cash offer. If you make a cash offer and somebody else has a finance offer at the same number, it's a pretty high likelihood that they're going to accept the cash offer instead. Because there's no additional contingencies to worry about except for maybe an inspection. But there's no appraisal to worry about. There's no what if they don't get approved to worry about. A lot of times cash buyers can and will close faster if that's what the seller wants. But you got more flexibility in that because you're not at the mercy of how quickly can a lender get it done. So there's a lot of reasons why people might take a cash offer over a finance offer.
Right.
However, even if you're financing, there's ways to make your finance offer stronger. So most people, when they make their finance offer, they offer a very small deposit.
Right.
An escrow deposit. So if you're buying a $100,000 home, $1,000 might seem like a fair escrow deposit offer, but if you're up against 10 other offers and everybody offers $100,000 for this home, if you offer a $10,000 deposit, all of a sudden it shows you're a lot more committed and more serious in the seller's eyes. So a larger deposit helps. You could offer $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 deposit. You can offer whatever deposit you're comfortable with offering.
So cash is king, obviously. Let's move on to this is kind of like the break between things that we feel like we've said before and may be obvious, and then we'll get into the real magic tricks of you may not have heard of these things. Some of these things fall into each category. So let's talk about things you can negotiate on other than price. It's not just I'm willing to pay $100,000 for this $100,000 house. It's full price. Woohoo! Cash or finance, right? So down payment we just talked about. You can put more cash into escrow.
A larger deposit. Whether you get it back at closing or not, you don't have to use it all as down payment if you're financing. However, you can, and the more down payment they see as well, if they see you're only financing 50% of the price of the home, they know you have the money to be able to close.
Sure.
So a lot of times that helps as well. So a larger down payment or at least a larger escrow deposit is number one.
We'll talk about inspection. So you can waive inspection.
Correct.
If you're a handyman, if you're an investor, if you're going, whatever your reasons are, you can waive an inspection, the right to inspection,
so it's not advisable, obviously, because here in the state of Florida, most contracts are as-is contracts, which means you're buying it the way you see it.
Yes.
And you have the right to an inspection if you want to, but you don't have to do an inspection.
Right.
So you can waive that inspection period. You can shorten the inspection period. The standard contract has a 15-day inspection period written into it. You are allowed to, but it's a blank spot, and it says if left blank, it's 15 days. You can change that number to whatever you want. You can ask for a longer period if you want to. You can ask for a shorter period. In this current market, I suggest shorter. What most of us use in a standard market is kind of 10 days, but you can go 7, you can go 4, you can go 2. I had an offer come in the other day on one of our listings that said they just wanted a 2-day inspection period. They said, look, we've got an inspector on standby. We can get in there within 2 days.
Awesome. Which would make it more enticing for a seller, because say, for instance, you get in, you do your inspection, they report something back that you don't want to deal with. They can put the house back on the market faster and find somebody who does want to buy that house, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Or you can waive it all together and say, and you can still do an inspection.
Sure.
You can waive your inspection period and still do an inspection. It just doesn't give you the ability to go back and renegotiate and try and get out. But then you know what you have to deal with when the time, once you close on the home, if there's any issues. So you know what they are, but it's just for your information only. So that would be one.
I have time to close.
So time to close can be big either way.
Either direction. Either it takes longer or it's shorter, right?
So it's always smart to try and talk to the listing agent to see what the seller's situation is. If they need to, if the home's vacant, obviously closing sooner rather than later is ideal for them because they don't want to keep paying on it. They don't want to pay utilities. They don't want to pay insurance. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to pay, if they owe money on it, they don't want to pay a mortgage payment any longer than they have to. So if it's vacant, then closing sooner rather than later is always ideal. And most people automatically assume, though, that a seller always wants to close quicker. But if they're living in the home, where are they going? What are they doing? Do they need extra time to go find their own home? You could offer a delayed closing. Or instead of a delayed closing, which might help them even more, you could offer to close quicker so that they have the funds available to now make their offer stronger on the new house.
Right.
But offer them a lease back or to stay for free for a certain period of time as long as you have a place to stay.
Right.
So that's something.
It could all be the difference.
Yep. It's really a matter of what is the seller situation and what do they need and how do you make your offer more attractive to them. I mean, something as simple as that, where it doesn't necessarily cost you anything because you don't make a mortgage payment. You close in March, you don't make a mortgage payment until May 1st. So you don't have a payment in April. What if you let them stay through April?
Mm-hmm. So, and then I have
what else?
So something that is pretty unique that we don't see a lot, but you can offer to pay for the seller's closing costs.
Yep. So
which is news to me. I learned this today.
It also depends. It also depends on where you're at too, what those closing costs are going to be. So like here in Lee County is a little bit different than down in Collier County or even in Charlotte County, where here in Lee County, it's customary for the seller to pick the title company and then they pay the owner's title policy, which can be a couple $1,000s.
Right.
You can offer to pay that. You can offer to pay all their closing costs if you want to. Even in Collier or Charlotte County and some of the other counties in the state where where it's customary for buyer to pick and buyer to pay those fees, you can offer to pay their other fees as well. So you can actually offer to cover some of their costs so that what they walk away with is higher, even though your offer may be your dollar price offer. So if it's $100,000 home, you offer $100,000, somebody else offers $100,000. But if you offer to pay some of their closing costs as well, now all of a sudden in their pocket, their bottom line net is better on your offer, even though your top line number is the same.
We have 4 magic tricks that are a little bit unique that you don't hear about every day that might be the difference between getting your offer accepted or not. So first of all is having a letter ready to submit along with your offers. So talk to me about it.
Basically a love letter.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
We love your house.
And we've had clients do it. I don't know that we've ever had a buyer write a letter about a property that they loved and submit it along with the offer and not get accepted. Maybe it's just like good juju and like it's just, we haven't done it in the last 90 days. It hasn't come up, but it's something that we've always had great success with. It's a little bit of a love letter that describes why you're in love with that home. Sometimes people like to know that their home is going to be used as a, like for instance, this wall right here where my finger is has all of my kids' heights on it. So like it would make me feel glorious if the person moving into my home when I move out of it was bringing a family in versus like we're going to Airbnb it out and turn it into an investment. Oh, okay. No. So yes, okay, but there was rules and regulations because he's Mr. Rule.
You're not allowed to choose an offer based on familial status.
Correct. Or so what you're supposed to avoid is protected classes in this letter, which is you can't talk about race, color, religion, national origin, sex, disability, and familial status. So you can't say, I'm in a wheelchair, and if you don't give this to me, I will be homeless downtown. But you can paint a picture of like, I can picture me baking bread in the perfect kitchen, and I've always wanted a pot washer because I host Christmas every year at my home. That kind of love letter. Thank you. I don't have one, so I don't know. I'm jealous of every person.
Unless somebody knows something. I haven't seen a pot washer in a house before.
I'm the pot washer.
So if somebody has a pot washer in their house.
Pot filler. Thank you.
Send me
Very
a picture.
popular
I'd like
right
to see
now.
it.
And I don't have one, and I'm jealous of everybody who does. So those kinds of things. It's a love letter for the home. It's to have, and we have a generic template of like, dear Mr. and Mrs. fill in the blank. It's like Mad Libs. It's like a Mad Libs love letter. I really loved blank about the home when I saw it blank like today or yesterday. I would love, anyway. So you can write a letter. Please be sure to avoid protected classes because it helps realtors and sellers and stuff like that, everybody to stay protected and safe. But yeah, write a love letter about that house. And we've always had great success with it. And let's see. All right, talk to me about escalation clause because it's something that you've been doing for a long time. And you said now other people are doing it. It's irritating you. So we might as well spill the magic tea. Talk to us about escalation.
It's been done for a long time.
Melanie, hold on a second. Can I just share? Right here, Melanie is talking to us. She says that her virtual buyers want a multiple offer deal because they wrote a great love letter. I'm telling you, it works. People like hearing. It depends on the seller, right? Yeah. And if somebody who owns an investment property, we're getting ready to sell, to list a home for somebody. We have an interested buyer that is like not going to be in our country for the next 2 years. They're just like tossing money at what's available, right? They don't care. That person's not going to care when they go to sell it that you write a love letter. They're going to take the best financial deal.
Correct.
But not everybody is that, and there are a lot of people that if you genuinely love a home, it will go miles. Let me ask you an interesting question, Jerry. As a realtor, you are ethically obligated to present all offers to clients.
Yes.
Do you need to send the love letter? Is that like part of the deal? Like if okay.
So and it's funny because on one of the real estate boards that I'm a part of, that we, the discussion boards and things like that, we bounce ideas off of each other. Somebody asked this question, and it's a huge group, and there were probably like 500 responses.
Okay.
And it was surprising to me that there were actually a number of realtors that said, no, I tear them off and throw them away.
Wow.
And that is, you're not supposed to do that. You are supposed to present whatever
the package
you're
offer.
supposed to present the package.
Huh. All right, escalation clause. Thank you for sharing, Melanie. I love that. And I love that you're doing that for your clients. And please encourage your clients, or if you are a buyer out there in this crazy seller's market, use that magic trick. Write a generic letter, and then you can fill in the blank when you're in a house that you're ready to make an offer for, and pretty quickly just like add notes to it as.
So there you go. You said, what do people need to provide me? Provide me your letter, right? You know, obviously you can't write it until you've seen the house, but all right, you know, put it together.
Let's talk escalation clause, my friend.
So, escalation clauses are fun.
Yes.
So basically what an escalation clause is it allows the price to automatically escalate in your offer. So we've talked about it a little bit here before.
Give me for example.
So $100,000 home, you want to offer
they go to highest and best. You've already offered something, they go to highest and best. You send over one at $102,000 with an escalation clause. What does that look like?
So that escalation clause may say, we will beat any other, I always use the term bona fide offer.
Okay.
That bona fide has a very specific definition.
Okay.
Which basically.
It's not legit. I'm like, yo, any legit offer. Thank God you do.
Same thing, basically.
That's my understanding of bona fide.
But it basically what it means is that they would have to provide. They can't just come to me and say, "Oh, we got this offer for $120,000. Right. You beat it." So we will beat any offer, any other offer that you received by X number of dollars. It could be 1,000, it could be 500, it could be 5,000, it could be 10,000. Whatever number you are comfortable beating that offer by. Of course, the higher the number, the better the offer is, because somebody may say, for $1,000, I don't want to play your game. Right. But for $10,000, they might be willing to play.
Sure.
So we're going to beat any other offer that you receive by X number of dollars. Bona fide means that they're required to show me that other offer. They don't have to, they can black out the name, whatever, but they need to show me that offer that I can then review and say, okay, yes, this is a legitimate, you have an actual written paper offer.
Bona fide offer.
So we get to verify that, yes, it is a legitimate offer. And then you beat it by X number of dollars. So you don't have to rewrite a new offer. We would just do a basic quick addendum that says, yes, here's the new price, and then boom, it's done. But you've automatically agreed that that price can escalate based on whatever those other offers are, so that you're the number. No, it doesn't have to be to a certain point.
I mean, it can be, though.
But it can.
You can say to $120,000, and then I don't want over it.
Yep, you can add a cap and say, I don't care what offer you get. If this house goes to $120,000, I'm not beating it because I'm not willing to pay more than that.
Right. Then it goes back to I think it was number 4 that we had, which is change your mindset and come up with a number.
Yep,
that
you're
number. Willing to pay for it, and that you are.
Yep, if it's sold, if you see
that you're not willing to pay more,
that it's sold for $120,001, you'll be okay with it.
That would still make me a little sad. So you
don't have to put a cap on it, but you probably should, because you never know. And you get into a funky situation where, so what Rachel was saying when we first started talking about this is, I've been doing this for a while now here, but here locally, it hasn't been done much until recently. It's starting to pick up more. You're starting to see more of it because we have so many multiple offer situations. So what happens if you don't put a cap on it and you've got 2 escalation clauses? Well, now who's paying infinity for that house? Because if you both offers have escalation clauses that say I'll beat the other offer by X number of dollars, and nobody has a cap on it, now what? So you do need to be careful with that sort of thing.
Sure.
Which you got to be careful with any of these, just like waiving an inspection period.
Right.
you've got to know what it is that you're doing and be prepared to deal with the consequences of that, making that offer as well.
And all, you go up and down the road acting really fast and letting your realtors preview a home. Then you need to get in and get to see it as soon as possible.
Yep.
All of this comes with the caveat of
there are, there are risks to everything.
Sure. But it's investing. You're buying an investment, whether it's going to be your personal home that you're going to eventually sell for more money than what you're currently paying for, whether it's an investment property, it doesn't matter. Real estate is like the most stable increase in investment that you can bank on. But that doesn't mean that it's always an upward climb. There's going to be fluctuations in the market.
Prices go up and prices go down.
Yes.
Just like the stock market. The real estate market, it's happened forever. They've over time, they go up, they go down. But overall, the trend is up over the long term.
Talk to me about price anchoring. So price anchoring is making more than one offer on the same home. Hold on a second. Melanie has a quick question. How do you know it's not a fake contract or offer?
That's why I'm saying you said I get to verify it.
So, but like, what if they send you, like, I could type up an offer and pretend sign it and send it.
You're going to send me proof of funds too? You're going to type up fake proof of funds? Send me the documentation. Let me verify it's legit.
Yeah. All right. So price anchoring. So price anchoring is making multiple offers on the same home at the same time in hopes that one of them would be more attractive to a seller. So like you can't, like, it's very difficult right now to get a listing agent to spill the beans.
Yep.
Right? They don't have to give you info on the seller.
Well, and like, look at the condo that we had over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many phone calls did I get? How many text messages did I get? How many people were in trying to see the house? I had unrepresented buyers calling me. I mean, I had somebody call me that was asking me a bunch of questions. They sounded like a realtor, and I talked to so many people that I forgot that she never told me she was a realtor, and she was a legit buyer with no realtor, just asking questions. And I'm like, yeah, if you want to go see it, just schedule it on showing time. And she's like, what's that? And that's when I realized, oh, wait, you're not a realtor.
When we say we got a lot, so like we obviously do our standard like professional photos and marketing and stuff like that. When we say we get a lot of calls, we're talking in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Like we listed
sometimes
a condo
that happens
into the hundreds of phone calls, texts, emails, messages within 24 hours. And
so what this is something that typically is done more often by investors. It doesn't happen in real estate. You don't see it much in real estate at all, but it's more of an investor technique than anything, where they'll make two different offers. They'll say, look, so your $100,000 home.
Yes.
Let's use that as an example. I'll give you full price at $100,000. I'll pay cash. I'll close in 10 days. We'll do everything super fast, 100 grand cash, no issues, whatever. Or I'd really prefer to finance it because I can get such a low interest rate. I'd rather keep my cash and maybe go buy 2 or 3 properties with that same money. Mm-hmm. So I'll finance it. It's going to take me 45 days to close. But if you let me finance it, I'll buy it for 110 or 115 or 120. Whatever number you're comfortable with. But you make an offer, a higher price offer to buy you that extra time and allow you financing. It works really well if your realtor or you as a buyer's agent can't get a hold of that listing agent to find out their situation. Maybe you say, hey, look, we'd like to do a delayed closing, but we can close quicker if we have to.
Right. You could send the same sale price on a house. We'll buy the $100,000 condo or $100,000 house. We'll buy it for $105,000 and we will close in 15 days, or we will buy same price and we will close in 90 days. Which do they prefer? Like you could literally.
Yeah, that's not where I was going, but that's okay. But that's an option.
So
that is something you can do.
But like, not everybody, like I love your example,
not
but not everybody has cash.
No,
Not everybody.
but
what can you negotiate on?
You could still do the same thing financing and say, look, I have a fully underwritten approval. I can close in 2 weeks.
Right.
On a financing deal.
Yes.
And so I'll give you $350,000 house. I'll give you full price, close in 2 weeks if that's what you really want. If you'd prefer to take a little bit more time and give me a little bit more time to do the things that I want to do, give me a 10-day inspection period instead of a 2-day inspection period, I'll give you $365 for it.
And just send them both.
Yep.
Just send them both at the same time. Write it, sign it, and send 2 contracts to the same person. Just because you don't always know the seller's motivation and what's going to interest them.
Yep. And then what's our last one?
So then I have, so like anything that you could do to make it more attractive, you could offer to.
If it's a hoarder house.
Doesn't even have to be a hoarder house.
No, but just.
You could even, where would you include it? Let's talk about what we're talking about. We're talking about adding things like note in the contract, like we will clean out the property. We will take it like.
You could even do something like we want a home inspection, but we're not going to ask for any repairs, or we're not going to ask for any minor repairs or
repairs
whatever.
To not. We're going to do a home inspection, but repairs will not exceed. Repair requests will not exceed $500. Or something.
In that you just do the standard contract rather than the as-is contract, and it's got a built-in dollar. It's got a built-in dollar amount for repairs, so you can do it that way too. But most people do the as-is contract.
But and yeah, if you go into a home, you could write in. I did see. Somebody I talked to suggested the opportunity to, I think we mentioned it before. Hey, we will close in 30 days, but we won't move in until 60, and you could rent free, have a month to move your stuff out.
Yeah.
It is risky because of COVID restrictions. Talk about it real quick while I type this.
Yeah. So the one place that you could get yourself in trouble in with that is because right now there's a moratorium on foreclosures and evictions. If they don't leave, you can't. So, you have to be careful of where you're at because different states have different requirements on this. But that moratorium is on COVID-related evictions. So if they can't move out because of something to do with COVID, then you can't evict them. But it's just more difficult. So I'm not saying that you can't evict people at all. It's still happening.
Just be careful.
You just have to make sure that it's not, that they don't have the ability to use a COVID-related excuse. And most people aren't going to do this.
Sure.
But somebody could take advantage and say, oh, look, we were going to go buy another house, but we couldn't find one. So now we're going to stay longer. And it's really difficult right now for you to get people evicted from the home.
Can I ask you a question?
Plus, evicting them causes them to be mad. And do they do damage on the way out?
Sidebar on this topic. Have you ever seen anything silly written into the contracts? Like I've seen it I'm thinking on seller's yard signs from the point of view of a selling agent where they put $500 in free tacos with sale. Like, have you ever
I have not, but now I want to try it.
I'm telling you, okay.
Never thought of it.
I feel like if you wrote something, because they have to present the offer. If you include something goofy like
I'm doing that.
$300 spending spree at Home Depot.
I have a client
at closing.
I have a client that's at the point where they're really, really frustrated. We have
tacos.
We've tried all kinds of stuff to get offers accepted, but we haven't tried that.
I'm telling you, you need to write in something that will get a seller excited to accept the contract. I'm excited. I want to follow up to find out how it goes. And so, all right.
I'm pitching that to her tonight.
This is what
if she's not watching, she might be watching.
He's the business, I'm the fun. And so we hope you guys got something out of this. We hope you're laughing and enjoying life. We know that this is a tough market. We know that it can be frustrating. And, on the flip side of it, there are times when it's just as frustrating for the seller. So have the peace of mind of knowing that today, me, tomorrow, you. And what else you got? Oh, we have an update. Talk About It Tuesday is usually every single Tuesday, 4 p.m. here on Facebook Live. Jerry and I hop on here and talk about whatever we feel like talking about, to be real with you, or whatever we feel like is pertinent to your lives as Southwest Florida goers or our people. And we're going to miss the next 2 weeks. And so a week from today,
we will still upload older Talk About It Tuesday videos that we haven't posted. They're getting uploaded. They're all getting popped into our YouTube channel.
Please join our YouTube channel.
And so we will share those to Facebook as well, but we won't be live for the next 2 Tuesdays.
So we have family obligations and next week, and then it's spring break. So good luck to everybody who has kids coming home, and we hope you enjoy them. We're going to enjoy our family, but we will still be available. We'll be working. So call, text, email, all those things. JerryNiesman@gmail.com. 239-201-9583 is our cell. So you can call us or text us. Should I say it in a normal voice? 239. I feel like it talks so fast. 201-9583. And call us, text us, email us. Let us know if you have any real estate related questions, or if you just want to say hi, you like this video. If you are a realtor watching this nationwide and you have questions about this, please call, text, email Jerry. We do this all day, every day. He's happy to talk to you about it, troubleshoot your deals, troubleshoot with your clients. We love you all. Thank you so much. I think that's it. What do we got? Today was a long one. Whew. I got to get that frozen
It's your favorite kind.
I know.
You like talking.
I love being on a stage. Just give me a giant stage. So, yes, thank you so much for joining. And we will talk to you guys in 3 weeks live, if not before.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Go eat tacos.